The US auto market is on the edge of collapse. Dealerships are drowning in unsold cars. Car loans are exploding. And 2025 could be the breaking point. For months, experts have warned about rising interest rates, but now the cracks are everywhere. Repos are spiking, used car prices are crashing, and dealers can't give away their inventory fast enough. This is not just a slowdown. This is the beginning of a total collapse. The question is, how bad will 2025 really get? The first warning signs are already here, and they're impossible to ignore. In 2021 and 2022, cars were selling at record highs. Dealers were charging thousands above sticker price. People were desperate to buy at any cost. But those days are over. By late 2023, interest rates had doubled. A typical car loan went from 3% to over 7%. And in 2024, some buyers faced rates as high as 12%. That made monthly payments skyrocket. The average new car now costs over $35,000. But with interest added, many buyers are paying $50,000 or more for a basic car, not even luxury. Households are running out of money. Credit card debt just hit a record $1.3 trillion. Auto loan debt is now over $1.6 trillion. And millions of people are falling behind on payments. Repos are climbing fast. Over 2 million cars are expected to be repossessed in 2025. Banks are already preparing for the flood. At the same time, new car inventory is piling up. Dealers are sitting on lots filled with unsold vehicles. Some models are gathering dust for 200 days or more. That's a financial time bomb. The first cracks have already turned into fractures. And this is just the beginning. The warning signs are clear. 2025 is shaping up to be a year of collapse. Dealers are panicking, and it's getting worse by the day. In 2021, they were kings of the market. Markups, shortages, record profits. But in 2025, the tables have turned. Showrooms are empty of customers, but the lots outside, overflowing with unsold cars. Rows and rows of vehicles sitting in the sun, each one losing value every single day. Dealers know the truth. The longer a car sits, the more money they lose. A car that was worth $35,000 in January might only fetch $31,000 in March. That's thousands of dollars gone, just from time passing. So now they're slashing prices, massive discounts, 0% financing offers, free maintenance packages, extended warranties thrown in for nothing. Some are even offering straight-up cash incentives to drive a car off the lot. It's a complete reversal from just a few years ago. Back then, buyers had no leverage. Dealers charged market adjustments of $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000, and people paid because there were no cars. But now, buyers are holding all the power, and dealers are bleeding cash. Some dealerships can't take it anymore. Hundreds have already shut their doors, especially small-town family-owned stores. The ones that survived generations are now closing forever. They simply can't survive this storm. The big chains are feeling it too. CarMax just posted multi-billion-dollar losses. AutoNation is cutting staff and scaling back. Lithia, one of the largest dealer groups in America, is warning investors about market headwinds. Translation: they're scared too. Behind the scenes, dealers are begging manufacturers to stop shipping cars. They don't want more inventory. They can't move what they already have. But automakers keep pushing because they need the sales numbers to look good on Wall Street. It's a vicious cycle. And here's the most telling part. Even when dealers slash prices, even when they advertise deals of a lifetime, buyers still aren't showing up. Why? Because people are tapped out. Interest rates are too high. Wages aren't keeping up. And consumer confidence is in the basement. So what we're witnessing isn't just a slowdown. It's desperation. Pure, raw desperation from an industry that was riding high just 3 years ago. And if buyers don't come back soon, the collapse of dealerships won't just continue, it will accelerate fast. The used car market, it was supposed to be the safe zone, the affordable option, the backup plan for families who couldn't afford new. But now, it's turning into a bloodbath. Let's rewind. In 2021 and 2022, used cars were gold, sometimes selling for more than new ones. Dealers couldn't keep them on the lot. People were bidding against each other just to grab a 3-year-old Camry. But that bubble has popped, and it's popping hard. Why? Repos. Millions of them. Banks are hauling cars back at record pace. 2, even 3 million vehicles could flood the market this year alone. Every repo means another car dumped at auction. And when auctions are flooded, prices collapse. That $25,000 SUV from last year, now struggling to sell for $18,000. Trucks that used to fly off lots, now gathering dust. Luxury cars? Forget it. Dealers are stuck with mountains of them and nobody wants to buy. But here's where it gets brutal. When dealers take in trade-ins, they base the price on what they think they can resell it for. So if someone traded in a car last year for $20,000, and now that same car is only worth $15,000 on the wholesale market, the dealer eats a $5,000 loss. Multiply that by hundreds of cars, and you see why the losses are piling up. CarMax reported billions in write-downs. Other big chains are in the same mess. Their lots are packed with used inventory that's worth less every single day. And it's not just dealers. It's regular people too. Families who bought cars at sky-high prices in 2021 are now upside down. They owe more than the car is worth. Tens of thousands of dollars more in some cases, which means they can't sell. They can't trade in. They're trapped in loans they can't escape. And when times get tough, when payments are missed, banks repossess, which adds even more cars to the pile. It's a vicious cycle that feeds on itself. More repos means lower prices. Lower prices mean more people go underwater on their loans, which leads to even more repos. And the damage isn't stopping. Experts are warning the used car crash could last years. Not months, years, because supply isn't slowing down. And demand is collapsing. People aren't rushing to buy used cars when they're worried about rent, groceries, and credit card bills. Even cheap cars don't feel cheap when interest rates are near 8 or 9%. So what happens next? We're likely staring down the biggest used car price correction in American history, a total reset of values. And for dealers and consumers alike, the pain is only just beginning. So where does this all lead? What happens when new car sales stall, used cars crash, and repos flood the market? We get a collapse, not just a slowdown. Collapse. Dealerships are already on the edge. Hundreds have shut down in the past year. Some simply walked away. Others sold out to bigger chains. And many more are holding on by a thread. Because when sales dry up, everything dries up. Financing, service contracts, insurance kickbacks, the entire money machine that kept dealers alive stops working. Banks feel it too. Every repo is technically a loss. Every auctioned car brings in less than the loan it was tied to. Billions are being written off. And banks don't like losing billions. That's when credit tightens. Loans get harder to get. Down payments go up. Interest rates climb even higher, which makes it harder for buyers to qualify, which makes sales drop even more. It's a feedback loop, a spiral, and it's pointing straight down. Now let's talk about the automakers. Ford, GM, Stellantis. They bet big on high-priced trucks and SUVs, because that's where the profit was. But those buyers are disappearing. The average American family can't spend $70,000 on a pickup. Not with groceries, rent, and credit card debt eating away at their paycheck. So what happens when trucks don't move? Factories slow down. Layoffs begin. And Wall Street notices. Investors hate slowing sales. Stocks fall. Confidence crumbles. And suddenly, we're not just talking about car dealerships. We're talking about the whole economy. Because autos aren't just cars. They're steel, rubber, glass, plastics, electronics. They're jobs in factories, shipping, trucking, and retail. When the car market collapses, America feels it everywhere. And here's the kicker. This collapse isn't just about numbers. It's about people. Families losing their cars, workers losing their jobs, dealers closing their doors after decades in business. And it's all happening in slow motion, right in front of us. Some analysts still say, it's just a cycle. It will bounce back. Maybe. But cycles usually don't involve millions of repossessions, or banks taking record losses, or entire dealer groups shutting down. This isn't normal. This is historic. So what should you expect? Cheaper cars, yes, but also more chaos. Dealers desperate to unload inventory, banks slamming the brakes on lending, and automakers scrambling to survive. It's a storm, and it's only getting stronger. America's car market isn't just slowing down. It's in freefall, and the crash landing, that's still ahead.